We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, whoa! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and, of course, SideScrollersPlus.com. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you, man, oh man. The blood is percolating today. We have got a stellar show lined up for you guys. Hi, everybody. I'm Stuttering Craig, joined by...
What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Huh? Huh?
Can't hear you, man.
You can hear me?
Yeah, but the rest of the chat can't. So you're just talking to yourself.
Hi, Blabs.
Hey. I don't think anyone could hear me. So
Yeah, they could.
you're really just going, huh?
Wait, Phoenix, could they not hear?
They couldn't hear her, no.
No, they couldn't hear it.
Just this incredibly awkward and sexual intro.
Oh my God, I'm over here. Blabs like,
You waterhead, bro.
no, I don't know if they can hear you or not. I guess
They're
now
not
we know.
supposed to until I'm actually in. Oh, but they could hear me. Okay, they could. Okay, so
Okay,
maybe we're
good.
not that retarded.
Okay, good.
Oh, good. That made me cry.
It's like, you ever seen God, what is that movie? Half Baked. You ever seen Half Baked?
No.
And we should. I'm writing that down. Hold on. Blabs watches Half Baked. Blabs.
What is that? Who's in it?
Half Baked. Dave Chappelle.
Okay, I'm in.
It has Dave Chappelle. It has what's his name? There's a bunch of good
You ever
actors.
try and record side scrollers on weed?
on weed?
Craig's never done weed before.
No, I haven't. I've never done weed.
Well, I mean,
You
can
never,
smoke,
you
can
never
eat,
did the weed
whatever.
drugs?
Yeah, you've never
That's
done. You've never
fantastic.
partaked in the edibles.
Which actually leads us to the promo code today, burn. Anyways, we'll get to that in a little bit. Lunduke, how are you, my man?
I'm amazing, as always. How the hell are you guys doing?
Couldn't be better. Life is
You
great.
snoring over thumbnail was great right before we went live.
I thought the thumbnail game was on point today. I really
was.
did.
That was choice. That
There
was
was a lot of
choice.
good options too.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. You made the right decision. There can be no doubt.
Yes, there was. I thought all my thumbnail options were pretty strong today. If I'm being very honest with you.
No, I agree. They were.
But anyways, Blabs. So there's a scene in Half Baked and Lunduke. I'm sure you're familiar with this. Have you seen Half Baked
Of
before?
course.
Okay. Yeah, of course. On weed.
On weed.
There's a scene in it where Jim Brewer and Dave Chappelle goes to rehab for weed, and Bob Saget is standing on stage, and he yells at Dave Chappelle he admonishes him for just coming to rehab for weed. When Dave Chappelle goes, "You ever suck dick for coke?"
No.
And one of the guy goes, "I seen him." It's one of my favorite scenes in all of movie history. And so anyways, the same guy goes, "Huh?" And Lunduke knows, "Huh?"
Lunduke knows. Half Baked is fantastic.
Speaking of sucking dick for coke, everyone welcome straight from the hood, Phoenix.
I was ready for that one. Yeah.
Yep.
How you guys? How you all doing?
Oh, is it crack and not coke? Okay, sorry.
It's
Mighty
all right.
Megatron's
Crack
like,
cocaine.
I'll do them
Mighty
both. It's all right.
no doubt. No doubt she would.
I don't have
I
standards.
seen him. There it is. Well, look, big show today. So much talking about. We are going to be getting into the pussy bitch that is Hasan Piker. We'll be getting into that a little bit later because my oh my, he is deeply in the bed that he has made, and so much so that it's not so comfortable anymore, is it? The EA devs are just absolutely crashing out over this Saudi Arabia deal, and it's honestly hilarious to see.
It's fantastic.
And Lunduke has some things that he was telling us about before the stream started, which, my oh my, are we talking about a culture shift? It is happening in real time, and we are witnessing it literally as the show is live. It's spectacular. So look, there's so much to talk about. We're glad you're with us today. We always like to start the show with today in gaming history. So please, by all means, Blabs.
Lunduke, I apologize.
Today in gaming history with Flab.
Yeah, do it. Step on me, mommy.
Oh no, Blabs. Oh, she can't handle it.
Anyway, hi everybody. All right, yeah, I'll step on you. Okay, September 30th, everybody. Doom 2 was released in 1994, or Doom II, whichever one you want. Street Fighter Alpha 2 was released in 1996, and Forza Horizon 2 was released in 2014. Ta-da!
That is a good list. It's a
good list.
That's a pretty strong list.
That's not bad.
All right, Craig, let's hear it. Where's your disappointment scale today? 1 through 10? Go on.
Well, there's you did pretty good today, Blabs. You did pretty good.
On that.
On a scale of A plus to F, I would say you got an A minus today. But some noticeable games that you missed today include Zoop for the PC 30 years ago.
Bitch, yeah.
I forgot Zoop existed.
So did the customers. Everyone did.
So did the internet, indeed. Age of Empires for the PC. That's a pretty big one. 28 years ago in 1997.
What the hell is Zoop, though?
Pull it up. Go pull up a little gameplay for yourself. See what they got going on. Tales of Destiny, released in 1998 for the PlayStation. Age of Empires 2. The Harvest Moon on the Wii was released 17 years ago. This is Gran Turismo, the real driving simulator. Now, it's not the original GT. It's the
Portable.
PlayStation portable version of it, which is otherwise I would admonish Blabs for that.
100%.
Yes. But Forza Horizon 2 released 11 years ago for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One.
I did put that one on the list.
Yeah, I know. That too. That's fine. That's Blabs Lego Party releases today.
I know. I didn't even put that in. You should be proud of me.
All right, you get a solid A today, Blabs. Solid
A plus.
Because you can always
Age of
strive for
Empires was
better.
left out. Yeah,
Like
you got to
you
get
could
Age
say.
of Empires in there. True story. Uninteresting, but true. So I'm telling it.
Please.
Age of Empires 2. Back in the late 90s, I was working at Microsoft and I was a contractor there. And back then, contractors at Microsoft were second-class citizens. But we were the redheaded stepchildren of Microsoft.
Okay.
And that year, they had the company corporate meeting, which meant that all the full-time non-contractor employees got sent over in fancy shuttles. They got to go to like this big stadium in Seattle to see Steve Ballmer bounce around on stage all sweaty. And they all took the day off. Contractors had to work. So what did we do? We decided as a group, thousands of us, to not work, to download Age of Empires 2, which was a Microsoft Studios game. So it was all free for all of us, and have nonstop morning till night Age of Empires 2 tournaments, which we then charged the company for. Suck it, Ballmer.
Let's
so
go.
That's my Age of Empires 2 story that was unimportant to tell.
Hey, I love it.
Powered by Coke.
Yes. Powered by what?
Coca-Cola.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page here, because when you hear about like long big tournaments happening, sometimes you need a little extra energy, and I want to.
I was ready to get my mouth ready. Absolutely.
No doubt you were, Phoenix. All right.
It's a blowjob joke, people. All right.
I know he's talking about cum.
Cheers. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Lunduke's like, I am a family man. I do not condone this.
Yeah. None of the words said by any of these co-hosts are condoned by Lund.
That's right. With that said, hey, we have a lot going on. We're glad you're with us. The support over on Side Scrollers Plus has been outstanding. Love that. Make sure you guys join us this Thursday when we're back at it in our trilogy of Chained Together, where it's myself and Blabs and Wicked Virtue and Kirsha joining us this Thursday live at 3 o'clock Central Time. That is Thursdays at 3 p.m. Central Time. We're live. That is 4 o'clock Eastern Time for those of you on the East Coast, and 1 o'clock for those of you in Looney Land over in California.
And the same time that Craig gets carried by women.
Yeah, okay, you guys show up and tell me who's carrying who. Just throwing it out there, you know.
Women carried him.
Yeah, by all means, sure. Keep. This is misinformation, Blabs, and I can't deal with it.
It's factual evidence. There's videos of it.
Okay,
There's
well,
quite literally live streams.
I encourage everyone to go watch those live streams.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
With that said, you guys can use promo code BURN. That is BURN to join Side Scrollers Plus. I'm just telling you this right now. Time is ticking. Like, the price is going to go up on Plus very quickly. Very quickly. Like, possibly, yes, hours from now. So I encourage you to use promo code BURN and get a discount on your annual membership. That'll save you $10 on the year. And when you get an annual membership, you actually get 3 months for free. So the $10 off actually gives you a third of the year for free. So definitely go and take advantage of that like today. Otherwise, just letting you know. Okay. Anyways. All right. We got a lot going on today. We're glad you're with us. Aramis has started off with some memes. Says, just coming in to drop this off. Hope you like it, Craig. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Aramis, great to see you.
Sure.
Appreciate it. Let's see what we got here from Aramis.
So the first one we have is this one.
Oh, that's nice.
That is badass.
It's cool, but you look like an old man. I'm just going to clean out there.
I was going to say, I really appreciate the AI created art here. I do look like I am a Croatian gangster.
Well, if you think that's bad, you should see the next meme he has.
Oh. Now hold your clammy feet there, bud.
It's like 70-year-old Phoenix.
Okay, nice, wonderful. Thank you, Aramis. That's great.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for that.
Can we go back to the one of me really quick?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sure. I think this would actually be if we turn this into a real piece of art, I think that'd be good to promote the subathon. It'd be good. The only thing's missing about it is there should be a space between side and scrollers for branding purposes. But outside of that, I mean, this is great. I know.
Is there a space between side and scrollers?
Technically, yes. Technically, there is a space between side and scrollers.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at the artwork that's directly above my head right now. I ain't seeing this space, Craig. I don't see a space right there.
Lunduke.
That's right.
Oh, all right. Changes between colors insinuate spaces. Now I understand. I did not read the branding docs before the show, so my apologies.
We should put our branding doc out there so everybody can see it. But no, hey, I love it. Any support, whether AI generated or not, we appreciate it. We love it. It's great.
Spaces or no.
Spaces or no. That's right. All right, New York Giants fan came into the tin, says, I almost got arrested today at my job working for the bank. An old lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
I like that. That one's funny.
Nice.
Thank you so much for the joke of the day, New York Giants fan. Frankie Too Sweet came in and says, let's not stop corrupting Blabs' morals, and the fact that Blabs and Phoenix are dating is clearly evident. Lol. Did you know that Blabs and Phoenix like to make out from an AI perspective?
Technically, it's me. I just force myself on everybody, on poor bastards. Every time. Lunduke, don't get anywhere near me. I can't fucking help myself.
Actually,
consider it done, my dude.
All right.
Actually, I'd love to see a side-by-side of Phoenix and Lunduke right now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't have that built. Wait, please hold.
There we go. And and the internet's done its thing. Congratulations. You gave them one frame, and they did enough. Spectacular. Patriotic Gestalt came in with the amazing Lunduke embarrassing $50 saying Lunduke bouncy bounce fee. Uh-oh, Lunduke, cover your eyes, buddy. Cover your eyes. There they are.
Good gracious. You guys with your jiggly and your bouncy.
Listen, it's part of gaming. That's kind of how it is. And you know what?
Part of gaming.
Normal.
I mean,
men like it.
sure, there's dead or alive extreme beach volleyball. I grant you that, but come on, part of gaming.
Yeah.
Part of gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when the jigglies and the whatnots happen, people, there's like Grums gets all excited and everyone else gets all excited about it, but it's not part of gaming. It's just the jigglies and the bouncies.
That's right. Everybody loves the jiggles. Everybody. Normal men and women.
Probably.
They do. It's true. Yeah. Let's just be real. The chat is going crazy right now. The chat knows it's soon as Soul Silver says a reminder that WB still patent the Nemesis system. Okay. Thank you very much. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, he's talking about do you care? I can tell you.
Yeah, fire away.
Yeah, so the Lord of the Rings, like Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, WB Games had this incredible system called the Nemesis system, where the enemies are like it's almost like a living, breathing gang where there's like the enemies can grow up to leadership roles, and if you take them out, then someone takes its place. It's a very, very cool battle system.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting. Exec producer Elsie for $17.70, very specific, says, have you shown Lunduke the necessary flag to run a locals stream longer than 2 hours? No, we haven't. Would you like that, Lunduke?
I didn't know you could do that. I haven't even asked about that. It just cuts off for me after 2 hours, and I just deal with it.
We'll set you up. We'll set you up over there. And Cthulhu Waifu says, Mahong, normal men, and Blabs Satrix Lestrange. Hasan calling for violence now sees the shoe on the other foot. Yes, we'll get into that today. So, all right. Lots to get into today. Glad you're with us. Hit the thumbs up button wherever you're tuning in. Subscribe and join the 133,000 just normal men over here on YouTube, and over nearly 21,000 over on Rumble. We love to see you guys on a day-to-day basis as we continue to grow and grind with you guys. Great stuff. With that said, it is time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of controversy in the world of Mortal Kombat. Yesterday, we talked about the fighting game community and the insanity that's going on in there. We saw we talked about there's people who want to keep it a left-wing echo chamber, a woke echo chamber, but this has nothing to do with that story. As this was interesting to see, as a Florida woman wins a Mortal Kombat tournament playing with a newborn baby in her arms. Here, this baby is 6 days old, as this mama bear has now won a tournament playing Mortal Kombat. Initial thoughts and impressions on this, Lunduke. Is this mama bear in the good or the wrong?
I mean, any job you can have where you can keep your kids with you the whole time, that's a win. I accept.
That's pretty badass.
You think so? 5 days old child? Yeah.
I mean, 5 days old at a tournament. Okay, that's she should probably just be at home with the baby. But let's say it was like a couple weeks old. I think that was pretty awesome. 5 days might be a bit of a stretch, but still, it sets a good precedent. Keep the babies in the jobs. I think that's cool.
Well, it says baby Cereza was born on September 22nd via C-section. That's even more impressive.
Wait, 5 days after a C-section?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. No. Okay, I retract that. Her husband is in trouble because the husband should have been demanding she get home and get into bed, because that's nuts.
Okay, right. That's more of a thing about the husband, I think.
Yeah.
Who wears the pants in the relationship? I think the woman does.
Well, yeah, she didn't have whatever. I'm not even going to go there. On top of this, she also suffered severe pain in the days leading up to the birth, with doctors explaining that she'd gone into active labor. She could have ruptured her uterus because of this. They started delivering a bit earlier via C-section. 5 days after welcoming the baby in the world, Legion and her hubby took the bundle of joy along with them to their local fighting game tournament on a last-minute whim. And despite recovering from a grueling surgical procedure, she decided to compete. Now,
on a whim?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess
All
the
right.
hormones after the baby. She's like, "Whoa, Mortal Kombat, let's go!" You know.
Mortal Kombat. You know what? I get it though. Honestly, having been through the medical industrial complex, it can leave a person with a lot of pent up rage that you got to express somewhere. So why not go finish him? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
maybe the mom needs to get that anger and frustration out on something.
Rip off the old sternum, maybe slice a hat through a neck or something. You know, hey,
Bingo.
Teach the 5-year-old how to do it.
Are there controversies for this because the baby is 5 days old and like potential germs and whatnot, and loudness of the tournament? Or like, what's the controversy?
The controversy is that some people don't feel that a mom with a 5-day-old baby should be going out. It's more like the idea that it's weird that the mom would be out so quickly.
I don't think it's a bad thing. Like the mom take the baby to like a tournament. If I would have preferred to be like a month or 2 months old. I think 5 days is a bit too early for like germs and stuff, because you're supposed to take it
the
home,
germs
leave
thing.
it.
If the baby was born in a hospital, that baby was already exposed to about
That's
a
also
bazillion psycho germs, like far more than you could probably even pick up
some
at a
gamers
conference.
don't like hygiene.
Well, have you been to hospitals? Most of those people don't like hygiene. Half of those people are in the hospital because they don't like hygiene.
Yeah, that's
Like, I'm just saying, you go to a hospital, you come home with a hospital crud. You go to a conference, you come home with con crud. It's basically the same thing, except the hospital crud is antibiotic resistant. So I think the baby's probably fine from that standpoint. I don't know, as a husband, that I would be cool with my wife just recovering from massive, massive surgery and my newborn baby both going to play Mortal Kombat competitively. But that's a whole nother deal.
I just like the idea of like you get out of the hospital, you're released, you got this baby, and most like dads, they get home. They take their baby home for the first time, and they're driving like really intense, and it's like the hardest drive ever, because you don't want your baby to get hurt ever, Yeah. And a couple days later, it's like, so what do you want to do? Well, let's go play some fucking Mortal Kombat. It's amazing.
Can you share my screen actually real fast? Because Lady Desiree is watching, and she has photos of her playing Halo with her newborn. Look, it's Des.
Oh, wow.
Look at Des going hard over there with hard in the paint with the newborn baby just ready to fall off her lap.
That's at home. That's great and
It's
beautiful.
true. It's
and
at home.
wonderful.
She's at home with the baby. That's amazing.
3 months old, by the way. 3 months old at this point. So look at Des going hard.
Oh, that's adorable, Des, though. Baby Des.
Baby Des. So curious. Just want to throw this out there. Let's play Phoenix, can we play the game? Let's find out. How much do you think her prize money was? Did anybody see this already?
I didn't see.
Okay.
I didn't see it either, actually.
Let's start with Phoenix. How much did this lady, this new mom with a 5-day-old baby, win
Are these
at
Price
the
is Right
Mortal Kombat
rules?
tournament? This is Price is Right rules. How much did she win, Phoenix?
Okay, so we know that she won, obviously, then.
She did, in fact, win the tournament.
I want to say I'm going to say $500.
$500. All right. Blabs?
10,000.
$10,000. Wow. Esports have really picked up.
Saudi Arabia money.
Okay. Lunduke.
$1.
$1 without going over. Ladies and gentlemen, Lunduke is right, as she took home $28 for the prize pool.
You're kidding me. It's really that low?
Yes.
What? Why would you? What?
In a 3-2 victory, the mom took home $28 and a trip to DreamHack. So there we go.
I hope the baby gets to go for free too. Gets free pass.
Oh, there we go.
Goodness gracious.
Now Phoenix and I will be at DreamHack. Maybe we can catch up with this lady and talk with her about her experience.
Yeah, I wasn't sure we were about to say that. So yeah, maybe we can see her. We can meet her.
Yeah, we can.
The baby will be there clearly, so we can meet the
definitely.
kid.
Be walking around with her baby Bjorn on her front over here, walking around.
Yeah, rocking the Bjorn.
Phoenix, hold on. Okay, listen, we're going to be doing an event at at DreamHack coming up November 1st. I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay, this is going to be like a Rumble thing. Okay, what if we got her to come in and compete against Rumble competitors in Mortal Kombat? I'm just saying, this seems like
I love
something
this idea. We must do this idea. Yes.
I'm writing it down. Get the
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat mom versus everybody at DreamHack.
Literally everyone.
That's right. That's right. And if you beat her, you get $28.
Fuck it. Let's give her a raise. We get $29.
I love it. Oh, wow. Okay. I like this. I like this idea over here. Love that.
I want to see
All right.
Craig versus the baby.
I would beat that baby's ass.
That's clipped.
Lunduke, I would beat the shit out of that baby.
He does it for fun anyway. Might as well have a challenge in it. How he spends his Wednesdays.
I would punt that baby to half court, just straight up
I
pick it
hope
and
you know
punt it.
all this is being time stamped.
That's fine. That's fine. Sam, good to see you.
Craig beats up children, time stamped.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I have 25-25. Beat that baby's ass. So, thanks, man.
Listen, everybody knows it's in video games, right? I wouldn't physically
Exactly.
pick up a baby and punt it. Only in video game
Did
form.
you know that I actually thought the word punting was mean like, you punt the ball, but in the UK, it's basically like you boating somebody over, like punting over a boat.
Yeah,
Totally
they don't speak
different.
English though, so we don't.
Totally
we don't have
different.
to
It brings a
deal with
whole
that,
other
yeah.
meaning. And when I was reading a book, and like, oh yeah, they punted these people over. I'm like, they're kicking people across the swamp. But no, it was a boat.
I got to be honest.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Punting with the stick and the thing where you're pushing along the boat. Yeah. Punting in the Thames. Yeah, like from Mary Poppins. Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was like kicking people like you do in soccer. You punt it. No, not the same.
I have an idea for a video game now.
Punting people? Punting babies?
We'll get to that.
Son of a bitch.
I know. We'll get to that some other time. Okay, let's go and move on to our next story over here. I saw this video and I thought if this was kind of relatable, and I think everybody kind of goes through this at some point in their life, and I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. This is a clip from DG, who is going to Retrofest Arkansas. Said, there's a point where gaming stops being fun and starts feeling empty. For me, it was the moment the games went silent and nothing could reach me anymore. And they put together this little video here. By the way, very dramatic music. Playing the PlayStation Portable. And then she just realized that maybe she's done. Maybe she's done. And her hobby isn't quite there anymore. Look at how sad she
Oh
looks.
my god, were they going to play the Titanic music? Was that what that was?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was the Titanic music.
Well, either way, I thought this was interesting because I know that a lot of people go through a dark period where they kind of move away from games, and some people never return. But there's a point, whether it's games, whether it's sports, whether it's tabletop games, whatever, you have a hobby that at some point just no longer interests you anymore. Have you guys ever come across that point in your life yet? I'm sure everybody has at some point. Lunduke, do you have a hobby that you loved when you were younger?
I had that when watching West Wing.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's the whole story, by the way. There's no other parts of that. I just got to a point in West Wing and I felt like that.
You know what?
was out?
NCIS for me.
Yeah.
After Zevo left, I was like, well,
Wait, are you talking NCIS now?
yeah,
Did we move?
NCIS.
No, I was talking. Oh yeah. Z. Have you watched the new Denozo and Ziva show?
I've
When does
seen
that come
bits
out?
of it. It's okay.
It's okay. See,
It's
because
okay.
I love very special agent Anthony Denozo and
Devin,
Ziva. They were my
hello.
people, man.
Ruga.
They were the whole reason for NCIS to exist.
Yes.
So I'm kind of excited about watching that.
I recommend.
right.
I've seen bits and pieces. I know people who have watched it. They say it's not bad. Give it a go.
Okay. All right. I'll watch it just because.
There you go.
By the
So,
way,
Phoenix, what
welcome,
about
ladies
you?
and gentlemen, to the NCIS and
Those doors
JAG
were about to come
Appreciation
down.
Hour.
I was going to shut those doors really quick. Phoenix, what about you as we try to salvage this little story here?
I don't know, but I actually always wondered, like, when was the last time I played with action figures? I mean, it was yesterday, but I mean, I just kind of curious, like, when was the last time you did that childhood thing? Like, you didn't know that was the last time you would do it. But anything coming to mind, I can't remember.
The playground.
You know, it's kind of like those pure sugar candies, like rock candies as a kid. There comes that point where you get super excited because you got some friggin' rock crystal candy, and then there's a point like just like 2 days later where you're like, yeah, I don't need that.
Well, this is awkward because I got really excited for those over the weekend. Craig can like literally say yes to that because he saw.
Listen, one of my few joys in my life, I'm legit about this. If I had all the money in the world, I would just open a candy shop because I love the candy shop.
This is true. He was like a little girl.
I love high fructose corn syrup. I love sugar. I love all these, everything that you're like designed not to like. I love it, right? I love candy, right? And we all understand it's bad for you. I get it, right? But it's supposed to be a treat. When we were in this candy store, Blabs saw those fucking rock crystal
They're so
things,
cool.
and she was like, she was so excited to see it. Yes, you kind of did. And I was like, well, why don't you get one? And what was your response? Do you remember what your
They're
response
not
was?
healthy.
She goes, they're not healthy. I was like, yes, that's the point. It's a piece
Yeah,
of.
but I didn't want to ruin my teeth for them. So
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to just like, suck at them. Then you chomp them as they get decrystallized or whatever, as the sugar comes. I don't know. Like,
okay.
Dude, yeah.
When
I
food
got
needs
some
to
for my kids this
decrystallize,
summer. They loved it. They went nuts over it. They were freaked out. The rock crystal candy on a stick stuff. Oh man, my kids went nuts over it. This summer I got them some, crazy excited about it. They were like, "You want some, Dad?" And I'm like, sure, I'll have a little bit. I'm not that excited about it because I'm over 30 years old and you can't be excited about that sort of candy over 30 years old. I'm sorry, Mr. Craig.
I can still be
It's not
excited.
possible.
no, Blabs can still be.
I got like 6 months left, bro. And then I'm out.
We'll do when you're 29 and 364 days, we're gonna do a big Blabs birthday
stream.
blowout, and we're just gonna feed you all the things that go to your hips the next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's definitely not. And it's like I'll become actually Flabs. Like once I hit 30, it's just like boom, just blow up.
We gotta fatten you up for Fatcon. Just
This is
letting you know. That's right. Put on some of them love handles.
Did you know I'm going to Fatcon, Lunduke? It's
Well,
in
we're
What the
working
heck
on
is
it.
that?
My name is Flabs, and I'm gonna be fat and happy.
What in the tarnations are you guys even talking about right now?
Yeah, you want to come?
Okay.
What? Still what?
Can we?
What the heck
can
is
we,
a Fatcon?
can we give Lunduke a little bit of
No, I kind of
background
like
here?
him being confused.
There's an event. There's an event, Lunduke, in Seattle called Fatcon, and
Okay.
they celebrate being fat. So
Okay.
we thought it would be funny to send Blabs up to Fatcon in a full fat outfit.
Are you guys really doing that?
We're
hope so,
talking about
yeah,
it. Yeah. We want to. It's an
okay.
expensive
Hardest
thing.
thing for me is not to break in character and everything, and not cave to pressure because I'm a very tiny person and I'm afraid.
That's my biggest concern with Blabs is that when she gets pushed back, which she will, she doesn't cave like a wet napkin. over
Yeah, I
here,
gotta
so.
practice. I need to practice in a fat suit. Like, who are you calling?
This is Seattle,
Stuttering?
man. We're talking Pacific Northwest Antifa. They are gonna be pissed at you.
Yeah,
They are
But the best thing is
the
I won't
original
actually be
Chaz,
fat.
man.
I won't actually be fat, so I can run really fast still. I can
In the
outrun them.
suit, you're done
Yeah,
for.
I'll still be able to run. I'll just sprint. I have
Here's
a great stride.
Craig.
Nobody's gonna break my stride.
I think this idea from a
Gonna slow me
business
down.
perspective is spectacular. Make sure you get a good insurance policy on her before she goes, because the payout is
Well-
going to be just off the charts.
See, now you're thinking, Lunduke. And here's the thing: being in the
Using my CFO head. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here.
being in the fat suit, it should shield her from all the knives that are stabbed into
Oh
her
God!
from
Unless I
Antifa.
deflate, I can be like some celebrity's boobs. I just deflate and all the silicone just leaves.
Is
Well,
that a
anyways-
thing that has happened?
I don't know.
Has there been someone who went up to a celebrity and stabbed them in a boob and we've seen it deflate? Is that a
I
thing?
can see it's happened, or like some sack of silicone just leaks or whatever. Some boob problems. I'm sure it happens.
Well,
We're just assuming. I need video or it didn't happen. That's all I'm
I'm
saying.
sure you can find it on YouTube. We'll get flagged if we pull it up, though.
Well, I am glad that we were able to put a pin on this story of this lady's thoughts
Just
of
like someone's tits.
when gaming, like this is how I listen to you talk, Blabs, sometimes. Just this face here. I'm just like
Yeah, that's called West Wing face.
Oops.
Okay. Hey, Soggy Waffles. Great to see you, Soggy Waffles. Came in with the 10. Says, hey, Craig, just want to say I've been a fan follower since the old Evil Craig days. Side Scroll is my go-to for entertainment. Much love. Hi, Blabs. Hey.
Hi.
Thanks, Soggy Waffles. Appreciate that. And yeah, Evil Craig is still dead. But yes, thank you very much for your support. Speaking of the $10 super chats, we do have our Montez goal today, brought back for the first time in weeks. By the way, we haven't had a Montez goal in a long time. We've just kind of hit him. There's Montez. There she is. Watch out. So let's go and hit our goal today. Our goal is 20 yellow super chats. I think we can knock that out and have a big Montez celebration, totally randomized today, which will be great. Okay, let's go and move on. This kind of broke down yesterday, but I'm interested to talk about this with you, Lunduke, as our president has renewed his threat on putting 100% tariffs on movies made outside of the United States. Saying, actually, Phoenix, can you please give us your best Donald Trump here?
Sure. See here. Sorry. Our movie-making business has been stolen from the United States of America, such a beautiful country, gorgeous, by other countries, just like stealing candy from a baby. California, with its weak and incompetent governor, has been particularly hard hit. Therefore, in order to solve this long-time, never-ending problem, I will be imposing a 100% tariff. It's fair, it's good, it's glorious, on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States. Thank you for your attention on this matter.
All
That
right.
was fantastic.
Thanks,
Pretty good.
Donald. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah. So here we are. We got this from Variety, and I'm sure Variety, towing the company line over here as far as what a bad thing this is for the movie
so
industry as a whole. But this is 100% tariff on movies that are made outside the United States. In theory, the idea is to bring production of these movies back to the United States instead of pushing them out. And to be clear, there's a ton of places that you can make movies in the United States, not just Hollywood, not just LA. As a matter of fact, most people are moving out to Georgia and Florida and up in New Jersey. There's a ton of different areas to produce movies nowadays. It's not just a California thing. So yeah, I think that in theory, this could be a good thing. I saw the chat mention that this could be devastating for anime, though.
Bummer.
Yeah, bummer, huh?
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I like
Oh no,
anime.
anime costs more. Okay. fine.
Hey, I like anime. It's some good shit. That's basically all I watch now.
Hey, I'm gonna throw this at you.
Well,
Why not make anime in America? Bring it to America.
Because we have
if we're
shit
cool,
writers. We hire
If
all
we-
the stupid morons, and they're not creative. They just make shit stuff.
Wait, we've got good writers here. We just don't hire them.
And that's what I
So-
just said. I literally just said that. They don't hire the right people. But in Japan,
this
they
could
hire the right
force it.
people and they get it done.
This could force it. If we're cool with shipping all of our movie making over to Eastern Europe, why are we not cool with shipping all the anime making over to New Jersey?
The point of anime is that it's Japanese. So let
Does
the
it have
Japanese
to
make
be?
it.
You know what? The point of movies is that it's American.
Movies are for everybody. Literally,
It started
your
here.
entire argument has just fallen apart.
Hollywood, California, baby. That's the movie capital of the world, baby.
Hollywood. I think India has a
Hollywood
word
is
to
named
speak with
after
you.
California. They literally name it as a nickname after California
No,
because
sorry,
it
Hobie,
came from
you're,
there.
You're out. Anime can stay in Japan. They do a great job there. It's part of their culture. If you go to Japan, you'll see what I'm talking about. It can stay
Nope, I
there.
co-opted it. It's mine now.
What?
And we're bringing anime over here. It's going to Jersey. It's either Jersey or Georgia. You get to choose, Blabs.
Jews.
Jersey, yeah. Anime is only going to be produced by Jews in Jersey.
Only by the
From
Jews.
now on, here on out. I can speak for the Jews. I got this. We claimed it. It's ours now. It's coming from Jersey.
Americans literally ruined Hollywood now, right? The new writers, everybody nowadays in the last 10 years or so, they ruined Hollywood. So why would we want to go and bring anime that's so well done in Japan over here just for tariffs? No. They can
Jersey.
The fuck is a shithole?
Hey, man, they gave us Jersey Shore, and that is a masterpiece.
Are you a Snooki fan?
I was watching an episode of Jersey Shore once, and Snooki, half drunk, was looking at a clock and said what time it was incorrectly, thought she did it correctly, looked at the camera and declared, "I can tell time." At that point, I realized what an utter genius Snooki was. That was gold. Right there, that was gold. And I don't even know if to this day she realizes that she was actually wrong and could not tell time. And that's just amazing. I don't know what we were talking about anymore. Are we talking about Jersey Shore now?
No, well, the good news is that more Jersey Shores will be made because there will be no tariff put on it with the 100%. Speaking of the administration and our president, I don't know if you guys saw the news that YouTube has agreed to pay $24.5 million to settle a lawsuit to when President Trump's account was suspended in 2021. I think we all remember that. Then is more or less deplatformed off every single platform out there. And they're settling. They didn't actually go to court. They settled outside. So $24.5 million. We saw all this as well. YouTube agrees to pay President Trump $24.5 million to suspending his account. Facebook agreed to pay Trump $25 million to suspend him. Twitter agreed to pay $10 million. ABC agreed to pay Trump $15 million for defamation. And 60 Minutes paid $16 million for editing the Kamala Harris interview. This is, I mean, just doing the math on this one, it's like $100 million.
It's strange how so many of those left-wing outlets were trying to silence someone. That's so weird. Because I know how much they don't like silencing people.
Well, it's amazing how they were so quick to settle for large sums of money. Personally, I would have loved to see this go to the discovery phase of trial, and so we could actually see some of the stats and the internal emails inside of YouTube and Facebook and whatnot about this. I would have loved to have gotten that information publicly because Trump doesn't need the money. I appreciate, I really do, that they had to give Trump millions and millions of dollars. That's hilarious. I love that. It sends a message. It's great. But I would have loved to see the discovery phase. That's the only part of this that really bums me out is we don't get that discovery phase because I'm sure there would have been crazy stuff in there.
Yeah, well, I'm with you on that. And but $100 million, I gotta be honest. There's got to be a lot of people who had their accounts suspended in 2021. And you wonder if they are also going to sue. And if $24.5 million is the going rate for a suspended account in 2021, the payouts could be immense. But we'll see. We'll see. We've talked about this a lot, especially when the new administration came in. The idea of how the culture has shifted so much that these big tech companies, they don't care. They just go with wherever the wind is blowing. We've seen this many times with Facebook. Obviously, X is a little bit different with Elon, but they don't care. Whatever the political winds, whatever the cultural winds are, that's where they're at. And the cultural winds have shifted back, so now it's time to pay up for their mistakes. And that's kind of where we're at.
Pay the piper.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. All right, let's go and move on to the next story. But first, Wasp says, correct me if I'm wrong, but your immune system is the strongest it was in your entire life in the first 2 weeks of being born. The kid is a juggernaut against germs. He'll be fine. Thanks, Wasp. I don't know. I am not a doctor.
I'm not a biologist. It depends if the kid was breastfeeding or not.
Good point. Good point.
If the kid was breastfeeding, it's got the mom's immune system, so the kid should be good to go.
Jared came in with the one, says, I bet Craig is really thinking about barbecue food right now, along with some chips and cookies. I see what you're doing there, Jared. For those of you who don't know, myself and Lady Desiree are having a little fasting competition. We're on Tuesday and Thursday of this week, and Sunday, actually, we are fasting. So today is a fasting day for me. And that does not help, Jared. Thank you very much. Barbecue sounds pretty fucking delicious right about now. You fucking asshole. Jason says, breaking Joint Base McGuire in New Jersey is in lockdown amid reports of an active shooter. This is a massive base, over 42,000 service members. Thank you, Jason. And that has since been lifted. I just did a quick search on that over on the internet.com. And yeah, it was lifted just a little bit ago. So nothing has been announced on that. Torgo says, 100% Blabs. Why would I want to subsidize these Hollywood shitbags who hate me and want me dead? That's what these tariffs will do. Thank you, Torgo. Grolgar says, Lunduke, you're a tourist. Shut up and keep out of my hobby.
Damn, that's mean.
Woo! Get the fuck out of here. Hayden says, American tourist already ruining anime coming out of Japan. Oh, no. Oh, no. Once again, Hayden Wayne came in and says, American tourist already ruining anime coming out of Japan because they learned about anime in 2020. We need to gatekeep because they don't like the essence of anime. Anime must stay in Japan. It's a cultural staple. Thank you, Hayden. I know you are big on the anime.
Hey, I love anime. I DuckTales, that was fantastic. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, awesome. Anime is great.
Oh my God, you're listen, we were talking about death threats before the show. You may get some more. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You may get some more, Lunduke, just from that. Oh boy, he's welcoming him. This is bad. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's horrible. Jared says, Phoenix, that was funny as hell that when you defeated Silent Hill last night on stream. Also, do you plan on streaming Sonic Racing Crossworlds at some point in the future?
Yes, the answer is yes. Hopefully this week.
Okay, excellent. We have Suna Soul Silver says, anime should stick to Japan. The West has a thing called cartoons. Grolgar says, get rid of anime tourist. Oh, no. Sorry. You'll stick around for the rest of the show.
I like him.
Thanks.
He's good.
Thanks,
He's okay.
Grolgar. Suna Silver says, also, I'd rather keep anime in Japan because the globalization of anime has ruined it for the past 20 years. Thank you. Lots of big anime fans in our chat. All right, let's talk about something that is not anime, and that is the Netflix cartoon Dead End Paranormal Park. We saw this being clipped around yesterday. Now, I do want a little bit of context here, as this show is no longer on Netflix. It was no longer on Netflix. No new episodes are being made on Netflix for this Dead End Paranormal Park. But I find it amazing that it's taken 2 years for this to be discovered by the mainstream, where how many countless kids watched this episode and were extremely confused about what they were watching. And by that, let's take a look at the scene that happened here.
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma, and everyone.
It's super low. We can barely hear it.
That's where it's at. Sorry, here we go. What you missed here is, if you didn't hear it, was the blue-haired boy or girl, they, them, said, hey, I'm trans. I feel great now that I'm trans. And once again, this show is targeted towards 7-year-olds. 7-year-olds. We also saw this, Ridley Jones, targeted towards 7-year-olds over on Netflix as well. Well, this is a new of this little cow or whatever this is.
Oh, that's right.
Oops, sorry. Hold on.
The last time I saw my grandma, I used a different name and pronouns. That was before I discovered that Fred feels more like me.
So the cows
alone.
I'm gonna take a controversial potentially stance here. I think it's great that these shows exist because in the future we're gonna have to be able to point back to the insanity of this time frame, having stuff that's this absolutely bizarre and retarded is going to help make the case for what horribleness we had to live through. I think I'm glad they made some of them, and I'm glad that they're mostly canceled, like the one before it where it's already been canceled. But now we have it. Let's preserve it, and let's never do that again. Let's just use that as a case study for terrible writing and what we should never do again as a culture and society. So let's be happy it exists and be done.
Lunduke, doesn't it feel, I've said this a few times, that it feels like the propaganda of the 50s, like everything is reefer madness. Like everything just feels exactly like that. Like it's all just every cartoon, every show, you're going to look back and it's nothing but propaganda. It's not entertainment.
Yes, and it's hilarious though. Like it's like reefer madness. I mean, like how many people in the 80s and 90s got stoned and watched reefer madness and just laughed hysterically at the whole thing. So many Gen X kids did that. Not saying I did that, but I know lots of hypothetical people who did, and it's hilarious. The same thing is going to happen like 2 generations from now in like 2050. They're going to be watching that trans cow cartoon while baked on their parents' couch when they're 17 years old, and they're going to just be laughing hysterically at how utterly retarded it is.
Did you say utterly retarded?
He did, and you got it. Let's go. This is why I hang out with you guys right here.
I don't even think that cow has an udder, because it's probably a bull.
Well, you know what it does have, Blabs?
You don't gender Zim cow. That's
but a heifer. Better? Female?
Hey, Blabs, it may not have udders, but it does have pronouns.
Last time I saw my grandma, I used a different name and pronouns.
I love the music. It's so sad and soppy.
Oh my God.
Oh, I used the wrong pronouns.
Like we're past this, right? We are certainly past all this stuff, right? Where this is no longer going to be injected. We're not going to have cows with pronouns.
There's lots more coming. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots more coming because there's a lot of true believers. There's so many. I mean, it may not be the majority of people. All of us normal people, we don't like it. But there's a lot of true believers left. And there's a lot of shows still in the pipeline because the production time on a lot of these shows is, sometimes 2 to 3 years from the time it's written till it finally gets released. So no, we've got a couple of years left of more shows like this coming out. And every time it happens, we're going to make fun of it. And every time it's going to get canceled. And every time the production company is going to have egg on their face, but they're still going to keep releasing it. We have a few years left at least. Sorry.
All right. Well, I mean, we can only hope. But the thing is, there has been a pretty dramatic culture shift. And prior to the show, you were actually talking about some things that are happening in your world, in like this coding space about this as well. And like, this is a much bigger conversation. So how about you kind of fill us in on this? Because this is really interesting. Now, while we've had enough of this, apparently in your world, people are also kind of standing up for the first time as well.
Okay, the high level 1,000-foot version. In the world of open source software, big tech conferences, and the like, we've had the crazy woke DEI stuff has been rampant, like to the point where there are no tech journalists outside of myself that generally speak negatively of the woke or the DEI stuff. Most of the major corporations and organizations are run very actively by people who are very pro that particular politics and ideology, and people have been afraid to speak up. That all shifted over the last week to week and a half. About a week and a half ago, a whole bunch of people, kind of leftist political activists, pushed it just a little bit too far, and they started going after a guy named DHH. And now DHH, Daniel, is he is the creator of Ruby on Rails. So he's kind of a big guy in the world of open source and programming, and they pushed him just far enough that he wasn't having it anymore. And he started speaking out against it. That had a domino effect because now I was here speaking out. DHH was speaking out. People like Grums and a few other people online were speaking out. It was just enough of us that then the CEO of Shopify got involved and he started speaking out against it. And a couple other big tech CEOs, this started becoming a snowball effect. And then somehow or another, the DHH, the guy who created Ruby on Rails, kind of became sort of a Spartacus kind of a thing, where people started standing up on social media and whatnot, declaring, I stand with DHH, I'm DHH. And it was great because all of a sudden, all the people that were afraid to speak out because they were afraid to lose their jobs, they were afraid they were going to get kicked out of their projects, were now covered because there was hundreds and thousands of people all speaking out at once against the woke DEI insanity in open source and Linux and enterprise computing and everything else, with the coverage of multiple CEOs, multiple, big project founders, and on and on and on. And it just became this great big thing. Now there's like a couple hundred memes floating around about it. People are going nuts. And the people that were the political activists pushing all the woke stuff, they're tripling down. They're calling for violence against people like me and DHH and the CEO of Shopify and a bunch of other people. And that's just making the point even bigger. So now all the people who were already speaking out are now saying, well, I'm going to speak out against the wokeness even harder now, which is causing more people to flood in. So we've got this kind of mass revolution sort of moment occurring. I mean, it's a long way from settled, but we finally are seeing a change.
Well, you see, so people are starting to push back here. Your tweet says a group of leftist activists are pushing for the Ruby on Rails project to remove the project's founder because they claim he holds, quote, racist and transphobic views, which, if you've been around for the past 5 years, everybody just kind of laughs off those words now anyways. And other traits undesirable here.
I love that phrase. I have other traits undesirable. It sounds so fancy. It sounds very Shakespearean. I think it's fantastic.
Here it is. Adopt a modern code of conduct. Right here. There it is for the modern audience. If the fictional modern audience over here. We do not want to restrict DHH's freedom of speech. He can write and say whatever he likes. However, free speech is not freedom from the consequences of that speech. And we as a community are completely free to not associate with people who hold views we find abhorrent.
Now, here's the crazy thing.
Yes.
Those same people who are saying, oh, freedom from the consequences of your speech. You can't have freedom from the consequences of your speech, are the same people who were saying, oh, it's the end of democracy if Jimmy Kimmel's show is not on the air.
Right.
It's hypocritical, to say the least. It's ridiculous.
Wow. Plan Vert was a railway sabotage campaign by the French resistance during World War II. This is what they're calling it? Plan Vert?
So these people are literally comparing themselves to the French resistance of World War II. That's how seriously they take it. And it's going poorly for them. Very, very poorly. Thousands of people have stood up and said this is absolutely insane. They've gotten, they've got dozens of people who are signing on to the project that are their allies, whereas there's thousands of people flooding onto them saying how crazy this is. So they're failing, but man, are they doubling down. They're calling me and DHH and a bunch of other people Nazis and fascists and bash the fash and kill those Nazis. And it's escalating in a crazy way. It's absolutely insane that this is going on. And what's really nuts to me is these stories that I've been publishing, just from mine alone, at least 10 million views over the last week of this particular story from my podcasts and the X posts and everything else. Whereas, so it is, if you look at the pure numbers, it is the largest story in the world of Linux, open source, enterprise computing, big tech, etc., in terms of total number of people seeing it and interacting with it. By far biggest story. Not one tech news outlet besides me is covering this. Not one, which is great for me because I get all the views. But it's crazy to me that Wired, Ars Technica, Verge, The Register, not one big tech news outlet is covering the story, even though it's the biggest story in the entire world of big tech and open source. Not one.
Wow. Well, this person here, Danielle Foray over here. Look, I can learn a lot about somebody just based off where they post. And this person is still posting on Mastodon.
Yeah.
Remember Mastodon? Like, that tells you everything you need to know about this person. They haven't even gone over to Blue Sky yet. They're still posting on Mastodon of all things. Like,
that's the great thing. When people post on Mastodon, they feel that Blue Sky is a right-wing fascist haven, and so they post on Mastodon because that's where the real people are. Oh, it's fantastic.
Wow.
I have multiple fake accounts over on Mastodon where I follow all of the Looney Tunes so that I can go through and screenshot. What's crazy is these are all leaders within open source. Like, if you go back to that screenshot, that's a dude named Dan Foray. Who thinks he's a lady.
Okay.
And Dan Foray is the guy who created a Linux distribution called Elementary OS, which at one point was like the 4th or 5th largest Linux distribution. So this is, when I screenshot these things, it's not just like a random crazy dude on Mastodon. This is literally like presidents, founders, and leaders of open source. And these are the things that they're saying.
Nice. Very mentally stable people. I can
the most mentally stable.
So for the first time, but you're actually seeing, like, how long has this pushback been happening? Is this in the last week? Is this how long has this been going on?
So I mean, I've been covering this for years, but
right.
But up until really about a week and a half ago, no one felt comfortable doing any significant real pushback. DHH, he spoke out in little bits in the past. Like, he'll write a blog post where he says, hey, maybe we shouldn't be political in our company. Like, he got in trouble for doing that like about a year ago. And so he's made a little dabbles into that. But the last week and a half, something happened. Everything got pushed just a little bit too far. And all of a sudden, we're seeing people speak out that have never spoken out about this stuff before. I mean, the CEO of Shopify came out and was just like, I don't have his quote right in front of me, but he was very clear that, like, these people are clowns, and we got to stop this behavior. It's crazy, and it's amazing to see it change, but it just now did. I mean, really, about a week and a half ago is when it really hit, and it's still ramping up. And where it goes from here, who knows? I mean, will this have an effect? Will this just split the industry down the middle? I couldn't tell you. I'll keep following it, but it's nice to see people actually take a stand.
Well, it's good.
And feel comfortable doing so.
I agree. I think it's great. And we'll see when that happens in the gaming space. Probably never, but we'll see. Eric, I wanted everybody to know that Dan is a Tylenol American. Well, thank you, Eric, for the clarification on that. This is important information. Now, we talked about, like, I think this is a larger part of the cultural shift that's happened in society as a whole. And a lot of this actually stems from what's happening literally today, as the Secretary of War over here was speaking directly to the military, which I think this is a trickle-down effect that it starts at the top and it trickles all the way across society. And that's when you have people like our leaders saying, hey, we're done with this shit. That trickles down into all industries. And this is what he said today.
To remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department. To rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit. I've made it my...
I mean, pretty fucking emphatic with that
I think the
statement.
Sec of Defense Lou just said, we're done with that shit. I like that.
He did.
Yeah. And I'm down with that.
I mean, he should watch his mouth. But honestly, if there was a time when it's okay to drop one swear word, that was a pretty well-placed swear word. So, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, pretty great stuff. He continued, though, which further in here, He tells top military brass to resign if they disagree with the return to the male-only standards, and ends with DEI. So let's, once again, this is our leadership saying, hey, it's over. It's over.
Awesome.
And you know what? I'm on board.
Hell yeah.
You are great republic, at great sacrifice to yourselves and to your families. But if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, I'm on board so far.
We would thank you for your service. But I suspect, I know, the overwhelming majority of you feel the opposite. These words make your hearts full. You love the War Department because you love what you do, the profession of arms. You are hereby liberated to be an apolitical, hard-charging, no-nonsense, constitutional leader that you joined the military to be. We need you locked in on the M, not the D, the E, or the I, not the DEI or the DIE of dime. By that I mean the M, military, of the instruments of national power.
Like,
awesome.
All he's saying is, look, meritocracy. That's the way we're going to do this thing. It's not going to worry about your oppression Olympics. We're just going to find the best people to do the best job as efficiently as possible. And I love it. I do. I love everything about what he's saying here because, like I said earlier, it trickles down into the tech industry, the coding space, the video game industry, the entertainment industry. They all will follow the lead. And we've seen this, once again, going back 5 minutes ago when we were talking about how big tech, you know what? We did mess up when we suspended you and banned you and blacklisted you in the middle of the insanity of the last administration. I challenge anybody to push back on what he said there. I don't see anything negative about that at all. But I'm open to hearing it. I'm open to hearing about it. Phoenix, got anything? Lunduke?
No, I love Pete. I'm so happy he said that. I just love everything this administration is doing. Lunduke?
I agree. This is like you were saying. When the leadership does, they set the tone. And what they do and what they say has an impact. I mean, earlier this year, when we saw Donald Trump take office in January, and he started signing all those executive orders, like he said, no, if your company does business with the government, you can't have these DEI programs anymore. Otherwise, you don't work with the government anymore. And after he signed that executive order this last January, a slew of companies who had been knee deep up to their eyeballs practically in DEI. They are all like, well, we've been thinking for some time about dialing back the DEI stuff. You know what? We don't even have a DEI department anymore. It's not related to what Donald Trump said or anything, wink, 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 but we're just not going to do that so much anymore. We saw that with Adobe and IBM and a whole bunch of other companies. And it all happened because of executive orders and leadership coming from the president, from the executive office. So that really does have a massive impact. I mean, the lawsuits didn't change the companies. I mean, there was lawsuits against IBM. They kept up with the DEI. There was employee movements against IBM. They kept up with the DEI. I was out there screaming and publishing whistleblower leaks about IBM. They kept up with the DEI. But when Trump rolled into town with an executive order, IBM leadership went, oh, you know what? We were thinking about getting rid of DEI anywho's. Well, it has an impact.
Wow. It's been amazing to see the cultural shift back since November, and this has all happened very, very quick. So I understand why those who felt emboldened and empowered over the last decade or so, all of a sudden they feel like they're being victimized. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, I just go back to the idea of for the first time they're being told no. And they just can't understand this process. What? Like, you have a spoiled kid who's told, no, you can't have that chocolate. And they go, what are you talking about? You're horrible. You're a bad mom, or whatever. They're
furious.
Yeah.
They're pissed.
Yes. And I'm all here. I'm loving it. I'm straight up McDonald's in this shit. I am all loving it right now. It's great. All right. We have some more great stories here just right around the corner. So much going on. But first, Weebs and Kaboomer came in at the 10. Says just finishing editing an extremely dry... Oh, just editing. Just finished eating an extremely dry turkey. Oh, my God. That's September. Then I had some tacos with a full cucumber inside, not chopped, to top it all off. Washed it down with a bottle of mayonnaise. You must be really hungry now, Craig. Did I do it right, Lady Des? Listen, not a big fan of the bottles of mayonnaise, but thank you for that. Give it up for Jamie, who's a brand new member over on YouTube. Thank you very much, Jamie. Marmalin says, hood weebs and tourists need to stay the hell out of anime. Don't need your gender-confused commie BS infesting that medium as well. Let them know. Mercenary says, I hate CalArt's beam mouth style animation. Yeah, you see that a lot in Netflix stuff. Suna came in and says, you may joke about calling cartoons anime, but those types of jokes is how tourists have ruined it and labeled the fans problematic. We tolerate it before, but that line has been crossed too many times. Thanks, Suna.
Yes.
Scooter says, we need to heed the words of our fox waifu, Kirsha, and keep up the eternal vigilance against DEI and wokeness. This stuff will never go away. Just mutate its form and keep trying to force its way in. Don't think the battle is won. Thank you, Scooter.
Truth.
Bentley came in with the very long message. Says, hey there, side scrollers. I'm late to the stream, but the MK baby almost made it to my birthday, which is today. Hey, is Dan Vask hanging around in the background there, Phoenix?
I believe he is.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much, Bentley guy. Says, with that said, I have a birthday riddle for Phoenix. In a let me get this right here. In a one-story house at the corner of the road, the bedrooms were yellow.
Oh, I don't like this.
The kitchen was orange. The living room was red.
Yeah.
The garage was blue. The entry hall was green. And the sitting room was purple.
Yeah.
What color are the stairs?
I don't know.
No color, since there are no stairs. Because it's a one-story. That's good. It's a little misdirection right there. Rebound says, DHH is great. I love his aggressive enthusiasm. Marmalin says, do not be complacent. You're against Marxist ideologies. Then they will continue to subvert language to push DEI just under a different name, Bridge. And Mercenary says, don't forget, they're just changing DEI to Bridge. Yep. And Eric John, the pizza artist, came in with a 5. Says, not having to walk around on eggshells every time you say or post something actually has huge effects on your well-being. Less stress is always a good thing. Hey, if you guys haven't seen Eric John, the pizza artist, make sure you guys go check him out over on Rumble. Great stuff right there. Good to see you, Eric. All right, let's go and move on to our next story. Let's key in on Blabs here for a second, because this is a story that if you guys don't know, and this may be the first time you're hearing this, but Blabs loves Harry Potter.
What a revelation.
It's kind of weird.
I'm sorry you don't like any fandoms, Craig.
With that said, there was big drama in the Harry Potter world, which Blabs did a full reaction to this interview.
Boy, did I.
A full 2-hour reaction.
No. 2 hours and 38 minutes interview.
Okay, so 2 hours and 38 minutes. You watch this interview. This was Emma Watson. She was interviewed. And the long and short of it was that she was like, well, you know, she was okay. J.K. Rowling. Give us the rundown on this, and then the rolling smackdown.
She said like the most word salad corporate bullshit. She and Jay Shetty, if you ever watch Jay Shetty, he says a whole lot of nothing and thinks that he's so eloquent and amazing and philosophical. And the two of these two were just shitting on each other the entire time. Like this person said it best. It was like watching a safari. These two people out in the wildlife, absolutely insane. We had to watch on 1.5x speed. It was so bad. And at one point we tried even like a little bit more, and we just couldn't do it because it was too fast. But yeah, but finally towards the end, she starts talking about J.K. Rowling. And she says the most corporate, she's trying to save her ass at this point because it's been 5 years. She basically shat all over J.K. Rowling, right? 5 years ago, she basically said, oh, I'm here for all the witches. Trans rights are human rights. Trans women are women, blah, 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 blah. And she like shat all over J.K. Rowling, never defended her with the rape threats and all this other stuff that she was going on. Behind the scenes. And Emma knew this, by the way, and Emma has J.K. Rowling's phone number and vice versa. Never once contacted as a friend or anything saying, hey, are you okay? None of that ever happened, right? Really, really nice loyalty right there. Anyway, she gets to the trans bit, and she's like, oh, I still love Joe. I love her, but I can still feel the same way I feel about this and so and so. And she's trying to make it so politically correct that it's just nothing. She basically insults J.K. Rowling, saying, oh, I still love her and blah, blah, blah. If you loved someone, you wouldn't throw them under the bus. You wouldn't like leave them out to bleed for the world to harass or rape threats, death threats, harassing the family. It was literally nothing to do with J.K. Rowling whatsoever. None of that would have happened. But no, Emma Watson, but then she makes herself like a victim somehow. Like it's all about her. This entire 2 hour and 40-minute video was all about her, how amazing she is. Woe is me. She cries in the interview, guys. She literally cries. And I'm like, we need Bully McGuire. And somehow there was a Bully McGuire in my chat going, so yeah, perfect timing. But anyway.
Whoa. Relax. Calm down. What the fuck is Bully
drives
McGuire?
me
What are you
nuts.
talking about? Like
Bully
you're saying a bunch of words I have no idea. Okay,
How does he not know who Bully McGuire is? How? Then he makes fun of me for liking fandoms. He doesn't know who the fuck Bully McGuire is.
Let's just back up real quick. You're going over here. Let's just back it up. But the point is that she kind of is backtracking now after being having a hard stance.
She's trying to cover her own ass because it's not like the best thing in the world to go and harass a woman over her beliefs that women are women. Shockingly, I know in 2025 we've progressed a little bit from 2020. You're allowed to say these things now without being like canceled, harassed, everything. So yeah.
Which leads us to the J.K. Rowling tweet, which has like 60 million views, and this is seen as like a ridiculous smackdown.
It blew up. I'll have to if you want me to read it, let me pull it up because I can't read that screen. But she roasted Emma, and the thing was she wasn't going to do this roasting, this massive essay, had Emma Watson not brought her up in that interview, had Emma Watson not said what she said in that interview, because it was pretty bad, and Emma deserves everything that comes for her now after all this, and especially because we never really heard J.K. Rowling's side about all this stuff going on behind the scenes, right? So do you need me to read this essay? Because it's
yeah, well, I think, look, this is a massive smackdown in the best way possible. And what she's more or less saying is, nah, I'm not playing that shit. But I'll let you read it. I think it's important to be read. Because
there's a lot of context in here that was never brought to the public.
In a British accent, please. Thank you.
That I cannot do. So she says, I'm seeing quite a bit of comment about this, so I want to make a couple of points. I'm not owed eternal agreement from any actor who once played a character I created. The idea is as ludicrous as me checking with the boss I had when I was 21 for what opinions I should hold these days. Emma Watson and her co-stars have every right to embrace gender identity ideology. Such beliefs are legally protected, and I wouldn't want to see any of them threatened with loss of work or violence or death because of them. However, Emma and Dan, she's referring to Daniel Radcliffe, who played Harry Potter, in particular, have both made it clear over the last few years that they think our form of professional association gives them a particular right, nay, obligation, to critique me and my views in public. Years after they finished acting in Potter, they continued to assume the role of de facto spokesperson for the world I created.
Hold on real quick. And I think that's actually something to point out, is that they were actors when they were children, and then they eventually grew up. But people still look at them as like spokesperson for this thing that they just read words off a piece of paper that she wrote, that she created. But people go to them, and ultimately, she's the ultimate spokesperson because everything came from her brain.
Yes, she is the owner. Even now, she's still the owner of the IP with Warner Brothers. It's all hers. So yeah, people think that Emma and Dan are the all end all of what's going on in the world, and it's not true. They just played a character.
Mm-hmm.
So she continues and says, when you've known people since they were 10 years old, it's hard to shake a certain protectiveness. Until quite recently, I hadn't managed to throw off the memory of children who need to be gently coaxed through their dialogue in a big, scary film studio. For the past few years, I repeatedly declined invitations from journalists to comment on Emma, specifically, most notably on the witch trials of J.K. Rowling. Ironically, I told the producers that I didn't want her to be hounded as the result of anything I said. So some context here for that. The witch trials is a podcast that she did around 2023. Now, I listened to I think it's 6 episodes. I listened to 5 of them. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but they're pretty good and pretty insightful on why she thinks the way she does. So context again. She was abused by her ex-husband. He used to beat her up. He was controlling. She couldn't even copy the Harry Potter manuscripts. She couldn't take it all to work to copy it because he would know. So she would sneak in pages at a time every day. Yeah.
When you say she, you mean Emma Watson?
No, J.K. Rowling's ex-husband,
Okay,
her first husband that she divorced, had a baby with and everything, used to beat her up. And in the podcast, she admits that she was actually left in the streets bloody and everything. He beat her up and threw her out of the house at one point, basically. Okay. So a super abusive ex-husband to the point, I think she got a restraining order on him when she became famous because she was so afraid for her and her daughter's safety, right? This is a 1-year-old baby. So that's why she thinks the way she does, and she wants safe spaces because she's actually lived these things, right? So, and then to, more context here, she's literally saying, I don't want Emma Watson being involved in this because I don't want to drag her through the mud, which is not what Emma Watson did to J.K. Rowling. You see how one's a piece of shit and one's trying to still be safety and loyalty, even though, one's still a piece of shit. I digress. Let's go on. Okay. The television presenter in the attached clip highlights Emma's all witches speech, which is the video down below. And in truth, that was a turning point for me, but it had a postscript that hurt far more than the speech itself. Emma asked someone to pass on a handwritten note from her to me, which contained the single sentence, I'm sorry for what you're going through. She has my phone number. Can you imagine? Just here, dude, send this note off to someone else for me. Thanks. Give it to Joe.
Right.
What a piece of shit. Anyway. This was back when the death, rape, and torture threats against me were at their peak, at a time when my personal security measures had to be tightened considerably, and I was constantly worried for my family's safety. Emma had just publicly poured more petrol on the flames, yet thought a one-line expression of concern from her would reassure me of her fundamental sympathy and kindness, which is basically, oh, too bad, sorry for what you're going through. I'm going to pour some more flames on that. Fantastic. And then it goes on and says, like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life. She's ignorant of how ignorant she is. Fantastic line.
Yeah,
she'll never need a homeless shelter. She's never going to be placed in a mixed-sex public hospital ward. I'd be astounded if she's been in a high street changing room since childhood. Her public bathroom is single occupancy and comes with a security man standing guard outside the door. Has she had to strip off in a newly mixed-sex changing room at a council-run swimming pool? Is she ever likely to need a state-run rape crisis center that refuses to guarantee an all-female service? To find herself sharing a prison cell with a male rapist who is identified in the women's prison? Again, nothing that Emma will ever understand. I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. I therefore understand from my own life experience what the thrashing of women's rights in which Emma has so enthusiastically participated means to women and girls without her privileges. The greatest irony here is that had Emma not decided in her most recent interview to declare that she loves and treasures me, a change of tack I suspect she's adopted because she's noticed full-throated condemnation of me is no longer quite as fashionable as it was. I might never have been this honest. Adults can't expect to cozy up to an activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination and then assert their right to the former friend's love as though the friend was in fact their mother. Emma is rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right and I finally decide to exercise it.
That's a mic drop. That's wow.
Equality.
1,000
code burn. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Promo code burn.
Promo code burn. Get your $10 off. You know, this line here, Emma is so little experience in real life. She's ignorant of how ignorant she is. That's Wow.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's so fascinating because like the way she wrote this was so eloquently written, so witty. And then you just hear Emma and I'm not even joking, she says holding space in that fucking 2 hour and 40-minute interview. I was holding space.
What is holding space? What does that mean?
Do you remember the whole thing with the Wicked celebrities? And they were like, "Oh, we're holding space," and they keep touching each other's fingernails, like the PR for the Wicked movie last year.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the holding space.
Yeah, there was the whole thing of, maybe you were at that episode, but there was a whole thing of the interview where like, "Oh, you're really holding space with that, holding space with that," and now somehow that is a thing that celebrities say, like, "I'm really holding space with that." Like, what does that even mean? Yeah.
It's nonsense. It's just random DEI gobbledygook nonsense.
Yeah. So she's gotten absolutely annihilated, which is fantastic. And she's had it coming. She deserves it at this point, which is sad because like Emma was an idol of mine as a child. So I'm just like, you're a bitch. Yeah.
I think it's amazing to see. Right. And so you see the idea that she really puts it in her as far as I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14, and the sheer difference of life experience. How often do you see people who are quote unquote allies to this insane cause live the most privileged life you can possibly live, to where they have no idea what actual life is? They've never waited a table. They've never shoveled shit. They've never had to clean up after anybody, but they want to tell you about how oppressed they are after living an incredibly cushy life. And many times in this case, a multimillionaire before she could drive. Like that's tells you the epitome of privilege. Not, certainly not oppressed by any means.
There's actually a little bit more, and I can just share my screen because she answers somebody's question that does kind of like piggyback off this, Phoenix, if you want to share mine. So this is from that same thread, right, where this random person, don't know who it is, says, "Don't you think that as she grows older, she might be internally distancing herself from the belief that she had when she was young, but at the same time, she fears facing the kind of threat you had to endure if she publicly states that she regrets what she said about you in the past?" And J.K. Rowling responds back saying, "She could have contacted me privately anytime to say her views had changed, if they have. I had been entirely supportive. What she's chosen to do instead is yet take another bit of public brand repositioning without talking to me, but using me for her purpose. It's getting old." So again, another smackdown.
Yeah, don't fuck with JK.
Yeah, I'm for this. I love this. Like, very witty. Good for her.
I don't understand, just as a side note, why people pick fights with successful writers. I remember there was a guy. Do you guys remember the Trouble with Tribbles episode of Star Trek? So the guy that wrote that, his name was David Gerald, and he used to teach screenwriting at Pepperdine University. And he made this big point where writers are professional revenge artists. They spend all day, every day fantasizing about how to get revenge, and then they write about it. Why would anyone pick a fight with a writer? That is the worst life decision a human being can make. If there's a good writer, you stay the hell away from them, because they will spend the next 2,000 hours fantasizing the most creative ways to get their revenge. And you see that with J.K. Rowling. Like, some of those lines were perfect.
Yes.
Again, not just mic drop moments. They are going to be the headline quotes. And there's nothing Emma can do about it, because she just went head toe to toe with a good writer.
She's not even a writer. She's literally just reading lines and acting them out. And there's an argument that she's not even good at that. So, and the thing is, in that interview, she's like, "I'm not an artist. I find it hard to make myself an artist." But then like an hour and a half later, she's like, "I'm an actress and I'll always be one, even though I haven't made a movie since 2019. She's very smart, super smart.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's not been in a movie since 2019. It was that Little Women remake. And then she did a Prada commercial where she starred and directed it in 2022.
Awesome. Well, look, it's fun to see the smackdown happen in real time. And the fact that she just straight up rejected it. It's the idea like, no, I ain't playing this shit. And she put her in her place. I don't think that's going to do a whole lot for their relationship, but I got to be honest, I don't think she really cares. which is
No.
great.
I mean, you can see how it is, right? Like, you know someone when they're a child. You nurture them, you care for them like as if they're your own child almost. And then she grows up to be this bitch who just stabs you in the back and for the world to see. Like, that's it. Game over. There's no love there, I don't think, anymore.
Joey came in with the 5, says, I tuned in because I saw Hasan's face and us getting called a bitch. Well, we're going to get to that story in just a second. But I wanted to give Blabs the opportunity to vent because I know a lot of people are interested. Commodore Fan says, please shut Blabs up. It's clear most of us in the chat don't give two Fs about Harry Potter. Here's the thing, Commodore Fan, right? My thing is that if she is passionate about it, let her go. Because ultimately, you guys, look, if she's up here talking about bullshit that she doesn't care about, it doesn't matter. I would much rather her talk about something that she's passionate about, right? And if, that's why I don't know the first thing about coding like Lunduke does, but he's passionate about it. So you let people talk about the things that they want to talk about. And ultimately, you may not be into it, but I hope you stick around and you enjoy the fact that she is passionate about something, that she is wound up, and you let her go.
That is the best reason I've ever heard to allow me and Blabs to bore your audience. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, that's glorious.
Did you
guys
take
are
Tylenol too?
all day, every day, baby.
What up, homie?
We have this from Aramis, says, noted on the poster, do you want side in red and scrollers in white? Oh, he's talking about the AI poster he made. One of the whole crew or just you? I can't call myself a true Lord of the Rings fan without exclaiming that Shadow of Mordor missing from gaming history. Then again, green is my favorite color. Thank you, Aramis. You can do it however you want. Whatever you like, Aramis. If you want to do the whole team, that's great. Love that. Just make sure to include myself and Blabs and Phoenix and Dez if you can. And then Aramis came back with another 5, says, Hail Lunduke. Always wonderful seeing you on here. I arrived late at the Emma interview, watched for 1 hour and some change, and I could not learn a single thing over the interview. I saw people like them constantly in my old job contradicting themselves.
Yep. You could have made a drinking game out of that interview, and not one person would remain above the bar. We would all be under the table, drunk as fuck, passed out.
Maybe we do the drinking game at the subathon coming out here.
Everyone would be wasted. It was basically anytime Emma Watson said, yes, or she was climaxing or something, you had a drink. It was interesting.
Didn't know she was climaxing.
She did it 3 times.
Delta says, hey, Lunduke, the little open source group comparing themselves to the French Resistance, did they really use the term undesirable? We went through a little history here earlier, but ironic, the quote, anti-fascists are using that term, huh?
Yep, they really did.
And GM came in and says, New Jersey Jewish anime. Jiu-Jitsu L'Chaim. There we go.
I'm in.
Matt says, let Blabs vent.
Hell
That's
yeah.
right. Soon as Soul Silver says, let Blabs rant, you guys. They let us rant about many things. How anime and Japanese gamers get modernized. Never change, Blabs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Eric says, friend went to college with Emma Watson. She got questioned wrong in class. Someone shouted Gryffindor minus 10 points, and she was so enraged. She apparently went to the dean to complain. True story.
Okay, I did not hear about the second part, but I heard about the first part where someone was like, and it was the opposite though. I heard that someone said 10 points to Gryffindor when she got the question right. That's funny. But you know what? It's not surprising. She's kind of a bitch, isn't she? Anyway.
Okay. Speaking of bitches,
let's talk. Hasan.
Well, we'll get to Hasan in just a minute. We got one other story before we get there.
So many bitches today.
Lots of bitches. That is the EA employees who are freaking out over this Saudi deal as they are panicking like crazy, saying it's going to get worse. They are voicing their concerns over this. This is a story there's another story from Stephen Totillo over here where, by the way, trusted gaming journalist Stephen Totillo wrote an insightful article today about the acquisition from the GameFile website over here. 2 anonymous employees at EA voiced they're very concerned about this acquisition. One stating that they're afraid of layoffs that might occur with the buyout, which 100% will happen.
Yeah, it's definitely happening.
That's right. With the other stating this feels like a big FU to all the women and LGBTQ plus employees currently working at Electric Arts.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
In his note to workers, Wilson,
your feelings are accurate, dude.
Yes, it is amazing to see. He says, Wilson, the CEO, says, our values and commitment to players and fans around the world remain unchanged. But this didn't convince one current EA worker who told GameFile that Andrew Wilson basically said, F you to all the women and LGBTQ employees at EA with this deal, speaking anonymously because they were not authorized to discuss company matters publicly. They said, it just shows how many people have been collateral this past year for executives to make out rich. Nothing feels great. As we know, when the deal closes, it's gonna get worse before it gets better, if better is even possible here. Another said, I'm nervous about what this means in terms of workforce once this deal is closed, as layoffs usually follow these type of acquisitions. And on a personal level, the second person added, those future owners are not really in line with my values and beliefs.
See, it's fine until they say that bit, right? It's like, oh, I am worried about layoffs. And most people would be like, yeah, that's true, because they do the layoffs. But then it's like, oh, well, these owners don't align with me. It's like, oh, shut up. Oh.
It's, and the reality is, I think this is going to be a dramatic domino for the gaming space. Whereas now that this company is going private, we're talking about one of the biggest game publishers and developers in the history of video games. EA is a monolith when it comes to this, just giant figurehead in this industry. And what you're going to see here is EA see success with this change. They're going to cut costs. They're going to increase profits. Now, there's $20 billion in the hole from this. I think they'll recover from that in time. And honestly, this is not a money thing for these Saudi investors. They will get their money back in time. They have more money than God when it comes to this stuff. With that said, what you're going to see is EA cut costs. You're going to see them make money. And all of a sudden, Activision Blizzard is going to look over there and their investors are going to go, hey, how come EA is making all this money and you guys aren't making all this money in comparison to EA, right? And then the other publisher is going to go, hey, how come EA is making all this money and we're not making all this money? And investors are going to start to speak up. And that is ultimately going to cause the next domino to fall and the next domino. And that is how you get out of this bullshit. And it's crazy to think that it's the Saudis, of all people, who are going to make the change in the Western video game industry.
You think they're actually going to make it a good change, though? I know we talked about this yesterday, but I've been thinking about it, and I've been hearing other people talk about it too. And what if they make it super duper strict, where no more boobs on screen, no more sexy characters, everything has to be covered up,
Well, I think that you'll definitely see a cultural impact on that for some games, for sure, for some products. But here's the thing: is even if there's a shift, right? Gamers are undefeated. They always speak up and they always get what they want in the end because they are very vocalized and ultimately they move well. They move very well and there's a lot of action behind their words. So if gamers don't like what they're seeing, they will speak about it. And ultimately, I think the owners will listen because at the end of the day, it's about money, right? It's about money for these folks. But even if they do, let's just say they do go to the extreme and they cover up women with burqas or whatever, right?
They ain't
gonna be bouncing and jiggling.
Okay, let's just say that, but that will still open it up for other developers to include that things in the game. Maybe EA doesn't. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. You could see the total opposite side of things. Who knows? But I do think that we'll see a domino fall here because of it.
We got to be a little bit careful here because this does provide the Savvy Group, PIF, all the other Saudi investors are mostly all tied to the Saudi royal family. So we need to be a little bit careful here because right now, the majority of the largest game studios in the world are all owned by 3 distinct firms in 3 distinct regions: China, Saudi Arabia, and Microsoft, in that order of largeness. With the acquisition of EA, this makes Savvy, PIF, that whole line leading into the Saudi royal family, potentially in line to be the largest. They're like right there. And they've indicated that they want to do more after this. I don't know how super psyched I am about the idea of the largest maker of video games worldwide. Now, we're not just talking about EA. We're talking about SNK, Scopely, Niantic, the Pokemon Go guys. They have significant ownership of Capcom, Activision, Nintendo, all funneling into the Saudi royal family. That's weird. I mean, that's weird, right? I don't have a specific objection because to this point, there haven't been a lot of things they've done where they've said, okay, we're the Saudi royal family, so now Nintendo, you have to make games this way. They haven't done that yet. I'm just saying it's friggin' weird and it's off-putting, and it makes all the red flags that I have instantly go up. Because again, Scopely, Electronic Arts, Savvy, Nintendo, Take-Two Interactive, Activision Blizzard, Capcom, Nexon. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And with EA coming into the fold, shoot. I mean, the number of franchises that are literally now owned and controlled in some manner by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. What happens in the future with that? Right? Like, what does that mean? Like, that's going to be crazy. If we handed all of this off to, let's say, the woke DIA prince/princess Zaire Zim of San Francisco, and it was all owned by this one person who ideologically does not align with us. Well, even if they don't do anything crazy today, we would all assume they do some crazy woke thing with it next year.
Right.
I think we have to assume that's also going to be the case with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. I just have to assume.
Sure. Well, the Turtle Move says Saudi's already bought SNK and King of Fighters still has Mai. That's true. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Like I said, they haven't made any significant pressures, at least none that have become public, about taking the jigglies that you guys like out of video games, right? They haven't done that yet. But again, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, when they have a certain level of power over all the games, what does that mean for spyware? What does that mean for data collection and surveillance? What does that mean for game censorship? What does that mean for a lot of things? I don't know the answers to any of that. It's just friggin' weird.
Well, let's go over to the response to everything. All this over from the bustling biosphere of common sense that is Blue Sky.
Oh, Lord.
You can see this from Trick Weeks, who is a narrative designer by day for Mass Effect Dragon Age. They, them, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Of course. Yes.
So the buyers, this is a back and forth buyers. So your games, guns and football, yes. EA, yeah, mostly guns and football. Yeah, buyers, no gay stuff, no politics. We're not going to like EA. Yeah, definitely not. Hey, could you give me a second? I just need to shut down the studio real quick right here. So you can see the response to this from the response in Blue Sky is like, oh my God. It's like the world is burning. I hate it here. Oh, sad Batman over here. It's my fault. I was having a good day. My bad. BioWare is doomed. Wow. I wonder if some nice LGBTQ2S friendly studio could buy out the rights to me and Dragon Age. Probably not. This is okay. All right. Sounds good. She, her, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Of course. Of course.
So yes, the meltdown is happening real on Blue Sky and on Reddit over here, because Reddit, as you would affect, this is from the Mass Effect Reddit over here. EA announces agreement to be acquired, and it is strictly rest in peace. Wow, straight up ass. Why did they even bother hoping? Since it's a private equity firm, they will sell off the IPs that are not making bank. The deal was done with like 200 million in debt, so they're definitely going to be selling off IPs. So that's their hope, is that they're going to be selling off IPs from this.
Not necessarily. So how the Saudi royal family personal investment fund is functioning, like when they purchased Niantic, they're using it as a joint project, both to continue making money from the game's point of view and to use the user base and technology for surveillance applications. So like military surveillance and whatnot, because Niantic with Pokemon Go was developing a 3D private area space mapping technology where people playing Pokemon Go willingly map out the insides of their homes and track their user locations and that sort of thing. And they were going to build an AI system around tracking all that. That also got sold to the personal investment fund of the Saudi royal family. And they're splitting those off, basically one for military applications and selling off to other militaries, and one for making a whole lot of money in the game industry. And so it seems like what their strategy has been so far is not to kill off the studios, but to break them apart into whatever is the most profitable for them. And they are really liking the user databases. That's become a very big thing for them, and they're really trying to monetize those user databases as much as they can. That's why they purchased what was it, like Monopoly Go, Pokemon Go. They're grabbing all of these cell phone games that have 80 bazillion users, so that way they have large databases of user details and personal information, and they're monetizing that as best they can, which is spooky as all get out. But this is hard because I love seeing all the super woke writers for BioWare and whatnot freak out. I'm like, yes, that's awesome. Anything to make that happen is great. And then I look over and I see, okay, so it's owned by the Saudi royal family that are also doing the personal user tracking of all users. Okay, now that freaks me out. So I just traded one that sucks for a totally different and unrelated that sucks. Like, okay, now I'm a little concerned.
Right. Well, I think this whole situation is going to be a wait and see, like 1000%. It's interesting. And like I said, this is going to have a giant trickle down effect across the entire industry. And it's, we'll see where we're at in 6 months. We'll see where we're at in a year. It's exciting times and, and scary times for a lot of people in the industry. So, Guts came in. Speaking of over the Middle East, Guts of Riveria came in, says, I'm from UAE next to Saudi. On one hand, I'm worried because they're constantly criticize us for being too moderate and westernized. But on the other hand, they are prudent businessmen and won't put that stuff that they know will push people away. Thank you so much, Guts. That is spectacular. That is
$68. So boobs.
Wow. Let's go. Thank you very much, Guts. Enjoy this modern activity. Sorry there, Lunduke. You guys stop giving Lunduke boobs throughout the day. Stop it. Stop it.
Jiggle.
Keep going.
Is the jiggling done? Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
damn it, Blabs.
Oops.
Thank you, Guts. That's incredibly generous, and I appreciate your insight. Rod says, Blabs is right. When you're passionate about something, you defend it and rant it. So go, bro, cha-cha.
Thank you.
Bro, cha-cha. And Antair says, let Blabs rant. Thank you.
Yeah,
Gusian
damn
says,
it.
sorry, Craig. Gamers are extremely ignorant and will forget about what they were fighting for in 2 weeks. That's the
I
title.
wouldn't say ignorant. I would say they just want to be left alone. They don't want to push back, and they just want to get what they get, and then that's it.
Marmalin says the public development companies were our problem. Public companies serve the investors. Private companies serve their customers. Thank you, Marmalin. Kane's Brains says the crown prince of Saudi Arabia is the kind of liberal in that he's okay with women driving and being in public with no male companion. Oh, that's okay. Thanks, Kane's Brain. And Game Hunter Sirius says, Master Lunduke, which book do you recommend for coding? It's for the Asmongold game. Still in the writing process. I have no knowledge of coding.
There's only one book, and that is Richie's book on C. That's it, and that's all. Any other book is just fluff.
Thank you for that. Delta says, Blabs, the Saudis will do as China did. That's what I'm excited for. Keeley's Game Awards, where people get mad in the next couple of years when he doesn't say anything bad about it and even praises how many viewers the show gets. Thank you, Delta. And Victus Omega says, we just gave the Saudis Javelin anti-cheat. Joy. Thank you, Victus. All right, let's go and finish up here talking about our main story today with Fuckface. Here we go. Let's everybody get warmed up. Everybody get warmed up over here. All right. So last week we saw the story where a couple Twitch streamers said, no. They're too afraid to attend TwitchCon due to safety concerns. That was Pokimane, Valkyrie, and QT Cinderella. Now this is three women's speaking about going there, and they said, no, we're not going to go. To which the Twitch CEO Dan Clancy said, no, we're good. We take our security very, very seriously. They were concerned about the heightened scrutiny and the just political environment coming off the Charlie Kirk assassination 3 weeks ago. And now we have Hasan Piker chiming in saying that he also will not be attending TwitchCon. Let's see what he has to say, as it looks like he's trying to pop a pill down here. That's nice.
I miss the social Hasan era. There is unfortunately an obvious setback there because of, one, all the political incidents that have taken place, and two, how those political incidents have had some pretty significant consequences in how much I can go out in the real world and socialize with other people. As I said already, I'm not going to TwitchCon, not because I'm worried about my own safety, but I'm literally not going to TwitchCon because I'm worried about the safety of others. I don't want to put them in the fucking crosshairs if some psycho freak decides, like, I'm going to go there.
Where?
I'm very publicly not going to TwitchCon for that reason. So make with that information, do with that information what you will, right?
What's that?
Just it's ironic, considering, he's the one saying, kill them all, make them suffer.
That's the thing. Because he's, on the one hand, Mr. Super Awesome Hasan dude is super right that, yes, it is dangerous out there. I mean, people who go out on a limb and make public statements about things, they're getting shot and killed and murdered, and they're getting death threats regularly at events. I've gotten many myself, and I'm nowhere near the size of Mr. Hasan, man. But so he's right about that. Yeah, no, it is dangerous out there for him, but he's one of the people that made it that dangerous. He's been working really, really hard to make sure it's that dangerous for a couple of years now. So it's a little bit rich that he's complaining about it.
Is it dangerous for him? I don't know. This seems pretty one-sided. Yes. I'm seeing every day constant attacks, terrorist attacks, one after the other, and it sure seems to be one-sided.
You're totally right. It is very one-sided, but we also see a lot of people on that one side attacking their own. And so like they've been threatening their own regularly. And so I get it. If I was like a leftist socialist streamer or whatnot, I'd be a little worried too. Not as worried as I would be if I was like some crazy guy like a Stuttering Craig. Like, yeah, that would panic me. But if I was Hasan, I'd be worried about it too, because people are nuts out there, and it's mostly all one-sided, but with everything all inflamed, I mean, it's just not safe for people in that line of work to go out in public and be in an unsecured venue. It's not.
Well, do you think possibly that, as we talked about him being the point of the problem, I just want to kind of point out the idea of some of the things that he has said during his streaming career.
Please.
Just to, just to possibly make it unsafe.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man?
Almost like a stage that could be at TwitchCon, perhaps.
Yeah. Maybe.
But hey, listen, let's go and turn down the temperature a little bit, guys, okay? Because I can't go anywhere because, hey, I am spewing things like this.
Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them. What the fuck is this?
8, 7, 4. So, slice and dice them.
He's so soy. Ugh. Like he's just so unattractive to stare at. I'm just like, no. Anyway.
That's Blabs is right. That's really the problem here.
He is
unattractive. Yeah,
he's just not an attractive dude.
Attractiveness is it's really bugging me out, man.
You're bumming her out, dude.
You really are.
I don't think you're his type of girl.
No, clearly not.
Yeah. But it's all jokes. It's all jokes, guys. But keep in mind, this was pointed out over here on X. Dude went to the LA riots, but TwitchCon is too much for him over here.
Yeah.
And Kongman Lee very eloquently put some of the quotes here: kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the streets. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist blood. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers. You need to be gutting them. If you cared about Medicare fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
That last one is so ridiculous because it's just so on the nose. This politician voted wrong. We must murder. Like, okay, come on. You can't. That one's hard to wrap in a teasing.
Right.
Hey,
LOL.
We're just playing. Lol. Tectone has called him out. Says Hasan and people like Hasan have been pushing violent rhetoric and supporting terrorists for years. He knows the dangers he has caused for others. He's now too afraid to face the very beast he's created. He knows if he live streams there, he'll broadcast his own audience that'll be there, exposing the exact type of viewers he's created, exposing the exact type of dangers he'd be bringing with him. This is not a noble act. This man is a coward. This man is delusional, and Twitch is a pathetic platform allowing this type of violent rhetoric to go unpunished for years, nearly a decade. Pathetic.
Amen.
Well put. Yes.
And not attractive, as
completely
Blabs
concur.
pointed out. So really, that's what matters.
Yes, and he's ugly.
And he's ugly.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not great.
It's amazing to see kind of what like the sheer backtrack over here of just like, oh, I'm not safe, guys, I'm not safe anymore, even though I'm the one like I don't want to go into the fire, into the house that I just lit on fire. It's not safe for me. That's what it feels like.
This is a standard tactic, though. This is a running tactic of the leftist activists, and it's certainly of the nerdy leftist activists, which Hasan is a group of. Remember, you guys know the EFF, right? The Electronic Frontier Foundation. They've been around for a long time. A director of the EFF, on the same day, this was earlier this year, the very same day, she put out an instruction manual on how to vandalize and firebomb Teslas without getting caught. And then a few hours later, put out another post where she was like, gosh, I just really don't feel safe out there because there's a lot of people on the other side. And she did like within hours of each other. And this is an ongoing thing. And what's crazy to me is the people who follow Hasan, the people who think like Hasan, are still out there today calling anyone who's centrist or right of center Nazis and fascist. Bash the fash, punch a Nazi, gotta kill them, gotta no quarter for Nazis. And they don't mean Nazis, they mean Stuttering Craig and Blabs and the other guy and all these things.
Phoenix, hey, other guy.
Stop bring it, baby. Bring it. Come on.
and this is what they do. And so they're still pushing it at the same time as going out there and trying to claim that they're the victims. When nobody that they call a Nazi, nobody that they call a fascist is saying, oh, we've got to go kill the lefties. No, we're just making fun of the lefties and saying, why are they saying we need to die? Please stop saying that. It's driving me crazy. But it's nuts. It's happening constantly. And it's almost escalating how much they're calling for violence over the last couple of weeks since the Charlie Kirk murder. It's almost like they have to triple down now because they'll lose face now if they stop calling for violence after Charlie Kirk dies. So now they got to do it more. It's crazy to me. It's insane.
Well, speaking of, Darian says Hasan was singing Bella Ciao, the Bella Ciao song on his stream, which is the Antifa rally song. So he's pushing for violence, right?
Yep.
And Victus Omega came back, says Hasan acting like an idiot again. Meanwhile, Crowder, like him or not, is doing Change My Mind again. I know who I'd rather listen to, right? I don't know if you guys saw this morning, but Steven Crowder said they announced this like 2 hours before that he's doing a Change My Mind at Southern Methodist University, SMU, and in downtown Dallas. And apparently it's happening, literally right now. You can. He certainly has the security in place.
Dude, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man.
You don't know, huh?
I don't know if I'd do that if I were him. Not right now.
I guarantee. I bet he has a vest on for sure.
Oh, he has.
Yeah,
a vest.
he does. His shirt does look thick. He's wearing a vest. He better be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
You can see the amount of security that he has though is insane. Look at that. Look at that security that's surrounding him. Which once again, like, look, if you're gonna spout this shit when it comes to Hasan, you should put your money where your mouth is, and you should show up to TwitchCon, and you should have to have 8 fucking security guards surrounding you the entire time and eat that cost. You know, he's a champagne socialist over here, so it's like, absolutely, you should put your money where your mouth is and invest in that security and show up because you made this bed. You made it. So Crowder's going out and doing it. He should too. He should too, but it's
huge props to Crowder. I mean, that takes cojones, big, giant brass ones. I mean, no doubt about it. But holy heavens! Yeah. I mean, shoot.
I love that they're still screaming fascist as like this is all about freedom of speech and we have to wear the bulletproof vest and they're screaming fascist at us is probably the most hilarious fucking cell phone of all time.
Really well put, the other guy. You nailed that one.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
got
All right.
that one nailed. But Craig,
Yes,
Craig, and other guy. Sorry, at this point, now I just have to keep doing that. If you were in Crowder's position and you said, you know what, and I think all three of us would agree, yeah, going out there, man, that's the ballsy thing to do. It makes a fantastic point. It drives it home. What would like wives and kids say? Like, I mean, I can't imagine my wife going, this is fine. I'm not nervous at all. Like, I cannot imagine my wife being at all okay with this.
Okay, well, real quick, I think the way this is, I have, as you guys have been talking, I've been meticulously looking at the security setup for this, right? The way this is, obviously, the tent is there to expose eyesight to where he is, right?
Right.
But they have a hardcover back here. Immediately to his right, our left, there is you can kind of see there's cover to the right over here.
Oh, I see.
And there's one on the other side, as well as some cover right in front of him, right? They have security, and the fact, by the way, the fact that we actually have to talk about this is fucking insane. The idea that if you look up here, like they have to look at the rooftops all the way around and kind of really scope all this stuff out. That's the fact that we are even having this conversation. We're like, well, let's look at the security setup that he has when he goes out and just have a conversation.
I know.
That's the most fucked up thing about this whole thing.
Up.
Yes. I don't know.
And we're not the only ones. I mean, there's a lot of people who are thinking about this really hard right now. And you know, there's a ton of people like Crowder who are thinking, can I do this right now? All the, the Daily Wire people and whatnot. I'm like, okay, what sort of events can we actually do right now where we're safe, where our wives aren't going to have a panic attack for overdoing it? And oh man, yeah, you're right. I mean, they've got some hardcover in place, but holy heavens, I'd be nervous, man. I'd be really nervous.
I guarantee he's incredibly nervous.
Yeah.
Incredibly nervous. Like he used to announce, from what I understand, he used to announce these things, days in advance, but you can't do that anymore. No. You just got to show up and do your thing. It's crazy. Which once again goes back to have some balls, buddy. Have some balls. Put your money where your mouth is. You made this bed.
or just not advocate for violence anymore. Maybe just stop. Maybe just stop advocating for violence and say, my bad. Sorry for telling everyone to disembowel people that I don't agree with. Sorry for that. And I'll stop doing that. Maybe just do that.
Yeah, cancer's gonna cancer. That's not part of what they can do.
You're right about that other guy.
I appreciate
Luigi
that.
wanted you to know that Hasan is a toe gaff. Thank you, Luigi. Appreciate that. And Marius says what Hasan and his ilk are doing is creating a false threat to further push their, quote, both sides narrative. Thank you, Marius. All right. That is a great place to wrap up today, guys. Lunduke, where can everybody find you? And please give me an opportunity to tell everybody about the greatest website in the history of the world.
Lunduke.com. LUNDUKE.com. One website. No crazy style sheets. No JavaScript. Doesn't even have hover overs. No animated GIFs, even though that is merely a failure of my part. You can subscribe to me on X or Substack or Locals, or there's a podcast feed. All the shows I produce are free, so go to lunduke.com and click on some things. And if you want to support me, support me. But either way, grab all the shows for free and share them like mad. That's free. Do that for free. You love doing that very much.
Question for you.
That's the whole pitch.
Yeah, I know. Right? Do people support? Do you get Bitcoin donations?
I absolutely do.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do that because I have this thing where I offer lifetime subscriptions to people, and I started offering it because I hate paying recurring subscriptions myself. Like I just find it annoying how many like Netflix and Disney Plus. I'm like, friggin' A, I just wish I could pay once and have it. So I started offering these lifetime subscriptions, and I realized I could kind of do that with Bitcoin. Like it's hard to do monthly, annual, recurring Bitcoin things. It's hard to set that up. Like Locals and everywhere else, they don't offer that. But for one time, lifetime sort of things, I can do that with Bitcoin. So yeah, I do. It's not the most popular, but there are people that thank me for it because it's really hard to support most journalists and YouTubers and Twitch streamers and whatnot with actual Bitcoin and actually get a subscription for it. It's hard to do, but Locals and Substack and a few other systems allow you to go in and manually set subscription levels. So if people do subscriptions with Bitcoin, you can set it that way. But again, it has to be like a one-time thing. So yeah, it is doable. People like it.
Yeah, Bitcoin is something that I've looked at, crypto for sure. So we'll see if I know a lot of people like decentralized currency in crypto with in our audience. So that's something we'll certainly look at. All right. Hey, real quick, I just saw this really fast. EA's new owner plans AI pivot to significantly cut operating cost. Tell us something we didn't already know.
Come on.
Here we are.
Come on.
There it is right there. All right. Speaking of Locals and specifically Side Scrollers Plus, which is our Locals page, just want to give you a heads up. The price for Side Scrollers Plus is going to increase like in hours. I encourage you to use promo code BURN or PLUS to head over there and get a discount on your annual membership over there. I know Lunduke doesn't like to pay membership fees, but I tell you what, that is the best way for us to make sure that we are alive.
We're going to get a membership fee, it would be to Side Scrollers Plus.
That's right.
Also, I enjoy Coca-Cola.
Let them know if you guys want to send some cherry Coke his way via Locals. I think that's a positive thing. Give them that high fructose corn syrup. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys very much for being here, allowing us to be a part of your life and you guys being a part of ours. Get outside, touch some grass, and remember that people are going to try to keep you down. Do not let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Fatality.